Okay, let's go over multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So we have 3x squared over 4 times 12y over x cubed. So just like we would multiply any fractions, we can multiply straight across and reduce, or cross cancel first. So I advise cross canceling. So let's look at an example with fractions, like we have 15 over 4 times 32 over 20. So what we could do first is reduce this. So for example, 4 goes into 32, so 4 divided by 4 is 1, 32 divided by 4 is 8. Then 15 and 20 could be reduced. 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 goes into 20 4 times. And then finally, these reduce. This becomes a 1, this becomes a 2. We multiply across, we get 6 over 1. In this case, it's just 6. Alright, so now let's do the same thing, but let's get rid of this first. We're going to need some more space. Alright, so 3x squared times 3x squared over 4 times 12y over x cubed. Let's see what we can reduce. So the 4 and the 12 reduce. This becomes a 1. This becomes a 3. Then we have x squared and x cubed. So when we have something like this, we're just going to subtract the exponents and keep the exponent wherever the larger exponent is. So for example, the difference between 2 and 3 is 1. But there's 3 down here and only 2 up here, so we're going to be left with 1 down here. So this will go away, and this will be x to the first. Alright, now we can multiply across. We have 3 times 3y, so that's 9y. And 1 times x is x. So we have 9y over x. Alright, here we have a more complex example. 3x plus 15 over x squared plus 7x plus 12 times x squared minus 9 over x plus 5. So again, we're going to try and cross cancel, but we can't cross cancel if things are being added and subtracted. We can only cross cancel things that are being multiplied. So for example, if we had 3 times 4 over 5 times 10 times 7 over 6, we can cross cancel because everything is multiplied. This will be a 1, this will be a 2, this will be a 1, this will be a 2, 1, and 2. Alright, but what if things weren't multiplied? So, similar example, what if this is, instead of 3 times 4, it's 3 plus 4. Okay, now we can't do this. Okay, we can only do it if it's multiplied. Because think about it, what is 3 plus 4? It's really 7. These don't reduce. You can only cross cancel with things that are being multiplied. Alright, so now let's get rid of this. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means before we reduce this, we have to factor this so that things will be multiplied and we can cross cancel. So let's factor 3x plus 15. The only thing we do here is factor out to 3. So we factor that out, I'm left with x, and this will be a 5, x plus 5. Okay, now factor in this. This is a quadratic, so we're going to have x and x. Then has to add up to 7, multiply to 12. So multiplying to 12, 4 and 3, and 4 plus 3 is 7. So plus 4 plus 3. So now this is one whole term, this is a term, and this is a term. X squared minus 9, this is the difference of perfect squares. So we have x plus 3, x minus 3. And we can't do anything with x plus 5, it's just x plus 5. But again, this is one whole term. So now, let's see what we can reduce. X plus 5 and x plus 5, x plus 3 and x plus 3. So now multiplies across, we have 3 times x minus 3 over simply x plus 4. Okay, now let's look at division. So before we go into this, let's look at a quick division problem with fractions. 12 over 5 divided by 2 over, let's see, 9. So in order to do this, we have to do keep change flip. So we keep it, 12 over 5, change this to multiplication, and flip this. Then we just follow the same rules we do for multiplication, cross cancel if we can. So in this case we could reduce the 2 and the 12. This is a 1, this becomes a 6, and then that's it. Then we multiply. 6 times 9 is 54, 5 times 1 is 5. So let's apply the same rules to this problem. So keep, change, so this becomes multiplication, and flip this. 15x to the 4th over 4x plus 32. Now we have to try and factor some of this if we can before we reduce. So this, we can't do anything with that, it's just x plus 8. This will just be 3x. This can't be reduced. But here we could factor a 4 out. 4 goes in both of these terms. So if we take a 4 out, we'll be left with x plus 8. Right now let's try and reduce. X plus 8 and x plus 8 cancel. Then we have 3 and 15. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Then we have the x's, x to the 4th divided by x. This will become a 1, will go away. This will become x cubed. So this is a 1 up here. Now multiply across. 1 times 5x cubed is 5x cubed. And we have just 4 on the bottom. So we end up with 5x cubed over 4.